Hello my dear friends, in this video I'm going to discuss with you passage planning in Singapore Strait westbound. In my other video I discussed passage planning in Singapore Strait eastbound. Now this is westbound. Westbound means you may call Singapore port for bunkering, or you may visit the port or just transit via Singapore Strait, Malacca Strait into the Indian Ocean. You will be coming from South China Sea or from here, Australia, right, from this side, wherever, right. Also, okay, right, that's it. So this tile you can see when you take the cursor onto this Malacca Straits and Singapore Strait, right? So the same things. You will have your details, the contact details of each VTS sector and the allocated relevant VHF channel, right? Vessels approaching from another reports, right? Okay. And vessels entering STRAIT operational area should also report as well. Approaching from the south through Silat Riau, Silat Durian or Johor Strait. So what we will see, this is I think Silat Riau, here is Silat Durian. Okay, right, never mind. So now let's go and check out the diagram. Yes, see, Silat Durian is here, Durian, and Silat Riau, I don't know, unless you come from some port inside. Otherwise there is no necessity to transit the Silat Riau, because if, say for example, if you come from Australia or some Indonesian port, the passage via this area through Singapore Strait and Silat Riau is the distance is almost the same, unless there is, if you leave from like Palembang or somewhere, you may be able to come to Singapore via Silat Durian. It's here, right, on my where the cursor is, via Silat Durian, then going around come to Singapore from east. The difference of your distance will be about 30 or 40, so not much. Okay, right. So we will check out the diagrams, and say this is pilotage, Silat Riau, Durian, blah blah. So you know this is standard the communication flow chart. As I mentioned in my other video, Singapore Strait is called STRAIT rep, consists of sector 7, 8, 9. Rest of the sectors is Malacca Strait to the west of Singapore, right? And okay, so that is it. So right here in so where to find out information about Singapore, because this is not Singapore, right? So you can select this chart tile square, and that is also Johor. Singapore pilotage is compulsory for vessels. For details of procedures for obtaining a pilot, see Singapore port of, right? So you can this one, you can click on that, and there you will have all the necessary details, right? Despite that you are solely transiting the Singapore Strait, rest of the port calls or visits have to be accompanied with a pilot. Say you go inside a port, or you come to Singapore just for bunkering to receive some stores, you have to have pilot. Only thing you don't have to have the pilot is for just sole transit. Okay, so same things, you know. And here pilot ordering arriving vessels for safety on operational consideration arrival vessels. Right, okay, so you will send, captain will send EPAN, the notice of arrival to agent, then he will fix time. This is called CSC confirmed service time and all that. Anytime between shall contact pilot office for BG PAN. Then this okay, and so there your agent will nominate the relevant pilot boarding ground. So normally whether or not this is given, the practice is to call Singapore pilots, that is channel 20, Singapore pilots on channel 20 4 hours before and then 2 hours before, because it's mentioned here. Where is it? See, masters will receive a vessel arrival confirmation email message at CST minus 2 hours from Singapore pilot office to reconfirm their boarding ground. So please contact Singapore pilot on channel 20. So 2 hours before, anyway, you have to call Singapore pilot. So how to select which pilot boarding ground is mentioned here. Pilot boarding eastern bunkering ground, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, like that. Okay, so here it's mentioned what kind of vessels for Alpha. See, for vessels other than tankers. So I'm not going to discuss all this because the video will be lengthy. Likewise, but anyway, normal. Now I have transited the Singapore Strait many times. Always I have come to pick up the pilot either in ground Bravo or Charlie. In many rare cases, you may get the pilot in ground Alpha. I don't know about others. This is for my size of vessels. Okay, I'm a handy size bulk carrier with a maximum draft of 10.3. Right, so here it is about the normal the description or details. Right, now our interest is on the EGDIS, so we'll discuss the passage against EGDIS. Okay, so here I hope this little introduction is good enough. Now let's move on to EGDIS for comprehensive discussion. All right, guys, in your onboard ships, you must be having this book. This publication is very valuable. You can obtain many much valuable information. Passage planning guides, Straits of Malacca and Singapore SOMS. Right here you have I showed this in my other video also, passage planning guide basically, right? You can go through. I will just quickly take you through what is their undertail clearance requirement, controlling depths and all that. You see, okay, the height of tides and everything, many valuable things. Okay, so about description about pilot boarding grounds, say eastern boarding ground Charlie, western boarding ground Bravo, and stuff like that, right? Okay, you see, okay, and the passage eastbound or westbound, sorry, laid down here. Now I discussed in my other video eastbound. Now let's discuss westbound. Okay, so the first page is like this, and leg 1 west is when you enter from this side, from East China Sea or South China Sea, coming like this. Okay, the first reporting point will be Abeam Horsburgh Lighthouse. So you will call, you have mentioned, you see, sector 9 VTIS East on channel 10. You may tell them VTIS East, I am so and so vessel, I am entering sector 9, passing Abeam Horsburgh Lighthouse, and then they will start monitoring your movement, and they will guide you accordingly if there is any cross traffic or things like that. Any relevant information pertaining to your vessel movement, right? So we will move like this, you know, like 4 west. This is very good. If you have right, okay, if you have transited, so it's peanuts. You can even close your eyes and do this, right? What we need to I need to show you here is you can see there are 2 routes. One is light blue and the other one is kind of dark purple. And why do you have this kind of routes, right? So this is for deep drafted vessels and general I don't know whether I can call it shallow drafted, but the difference is for deep draft and other smaller ships. You have they have clearly mentioned here, you see the darker route, the dark purple route. Deep water route is for vessels with a draft greater than 15 meters, and the other normal route is for vessels that draws less than 15 meters. So just because you have more depth and deep water in deep water route, you can't just haphazardly take that route, because that is dedicated for heavy deep drafted vessels, right? Just in case, if you see at this point, normal ship that draws less than 15 meters should take this route north of this deep route. Just in case, if you want to say, if you take this, maybe the VTIS will call you and advise you to move away and keep this route free for deep drafted ships. Okay, and so this is how it goes, and rest of the things is normal. You can, for crossing the TSS, this what do you call it, display 3 all-round green lights in a vertical line like that, right? So see, moving from sector to sector, how to do the reporting and all that, it's all mentioned. Right, now let's move on to ECDIS and discuss the passage plan. All right, my dear friends, so let's discuss the passage. Actually, not the passage plan. Let's discuss the passage or the route, rather route planning on ECDIS, right? So you will come when you enter Singapore Strait westbound. You will come from South China, or as I mentioned, from Australia side, from south, from Indonesia, and wherever. So this is the entry point, right, just before Horsburgh Lighthouse. So normal practice is to call them 4 hours before on channel 20 Singapore pilots, right, and give your ETA to pilot boarding ground, and they will give you tell you which pilot boarding ground is allocated for you. Okay, so, right, okay, so here you will now enter your TSS if coming from here. If you just only transit without calling, without stopping in Singapore, then no need to call the pilots, just only to do the reportings in the relevant sector to relevant VTIS sector from on the allocated channel. So once you pass a beam Horsburgh Lighthouse, that is your entry point, normal the first point of reporting, you call VTIS East on channel 10, entering sector 9, passing a beam Horsburgh Lighthouse, right? Then they will start monitoring your movements, and then they will guide you accordingly, right? Then here at this point you may call Singapore pilots on channel 20 once again 2 hours before pilot boarding ground, right? So if you take pilot, just try to keep to the starboard limit of the traffic separation line, so that it's easier for you to move to the pilot boarding ground. And here I want to show you tell you one thing. Don't get carried away. Here it says pilot east boarding ground Bravo. Okay, this is pilot east pilot boarding ground Alpha, and this is not what I am going to, that is eastern boarding ground. Now here pilot east pilot boarding ground Alpha. So say this is your first time in Singapore Strait, and if they tell you, okay, pilot east boarding ground Alpha or Bravo, just be double confirm with them whether it is pilot east pilot boarding ground Bravo or pilot east pilot boarding ground Alpha or eastern pilot boarding ground. Now you may see, that is one thing to be concerned about, because some might get confused with this. Okay, right, so we are now coming like this. Here is west boarding ground, and here you are moving to sector this is what is this, VTIS Central channel 14 entering sector 8. Okay, and you see here pilot eastern boarding ground Bravo. See, this is PEBGB, and here pilot eastern boarding ground Charlie Bravo. Alpha is also very close. Alpha, where is Alpha? Alpha also, Alpha is here. So the difference between this Bravo and Charlie is only 1 mile. Here is about I think 3 or 4 miles, right? So remember, so eastern pilot boarding ground Bravo, pilot eastern pilot boarding ground Charlie. Here was not eastern, right? I will take you back again. See, pilot east pilot boarding ground, not eastern, pilot east boarding ground. So this is when you confirm your pilot boarding ground, this is some good thing to remember. Okay, right. Okay, so you will leave the traffic separation traffic line as per call regs at small angles, and the pilot will embark here, and he will take you to wherever is free for your operation. Okay, so that is it. Now we will move to wait, I will load the other. Okay, so after your operations everything finished, you will enter the traffic lane at small angles and follow the general direction. So rest of the things is just very simple and very easy. Traffic is regulated here, so you don't have to worry about. Only thing is, just in case if you find some vessels that cross or overtaking, so then of course you need to give way to them or keep your course and speed. That is the only thing. Other than that, here is very easy, no problem, right? So here you will call the VTIS West on channel 73, right, entering sector 7. So as I told you, as I showed you in that passage planning guide publication, here this is deep water. So here this is deep water, right? And where is it? Okay, not here. Okay, and going like this. You will come like this, and I will now increase the scale and move to a little smaller scale, right? Where he is where was this deep water route for westbound vessels? Eastbound, of course, you see you have it. Here no, right? And say here is still at Durian, right? If you come from, as I said, Palembang or somewhere, but it's very shallow waters here. You don't have much room. Depth is okay, you will find 30-20 meter depth, but if you come from here to go into Singapore Strait, that will be eastbound, right here. A beam, this Pulau Jangkat, you need to there is a radio calling in point, you need to report to them, right? So that is the entry point to Singapore Strait if you come from south via Selat Durian. Okay, and here you will call Johor VTS on sector 88. So I'm not going to discuss all that because you will find all this information on that publication which I showed you, or also in LRS volume 6, right? Sector 5, you're entering sector 5 here, and there is a lot of aids to navigation. You can fix your manual line of positions. You can either keep to your starboard side or in center as you desire, as your captain will advise. Call Kelang VTS entering sector 3. Okay, so wait. Okay, you keep going like this. Kelang VTS sector 88. Oh sorry, Kelang entering sector 2, I think. And go like this, you will, and here you will now at this point you are leaving Malacca Strait, right? So call Kelang VTS on channel 66 leaving Malacca Strait. When you are eastbound, this will be your entry point to Malacca Strait. So same way, other way, 1 fathom bank north lighthouse. As you pass, it will be your leaving point, and after that you will be out to, still you will be in Malacca Strait, but there is enough sea room, no TSS. Then you need to you will move out to either Indian Ocean, or if you go to Thailand, you will go there. And I think that is it about Singapore Strait. Very straightforward, very easy. Sometimes there is traffic, sometimes not much traffic. Okay, right, gentlemen, thanks for watching. So keep watching, keep sharing, and keep subscribing. I will upload more and more videos. I'm about to go home now. Okay, anyway, so thank you for watching. Keep subscribing, keep sharing. Thank you.